In this video, I'm going to show you what the 4 different types of mesothelioma are and what the 4 stages mean for pleural mesothelioma. That way you'll know what to expect for each stage and have a good idea of what it means for your treatment options. All right, as a bonus, I am also going to show you how Paul Kraus survived over 27 years, even though he had the most advanced stage of mesothelioma. Hi, I'm Deborah from SurvivingMesothelioma.com, and we have been sharing the latest mesothelioma information for almost 20 years now. We also published the best-selling mesothelioma survivor book in the country, Surviving Mesothelioma. Over 18,000 mesothelioma patients have their copy. Please get your copy for free by visiting the link in the description. All right, now, what are the different types of mesothelioma? Well, there are 4 main ones. Okay, number 1 is pleural mesothelioma. This is the most common type. It's affecting the lining of the lungs, the pleura, and it accounts for about 75% of all mesothelioma cases. All right, type number 2 is peritoneal mesothelioma. So this type affects the lining of the abdominal cavity, the peritoneum, and it is the second most common, representing about 22% of all cases. And then type number 3 is pericardial mesothelioma. It affects the lining around the heart. It is known as the pericardium, and it accounts for about 1% of cases. Now, type number 4 is testicular mesothelioma, and it is the rarest type. It affects the lining of the testicles, and it represents less than 1% of all mesothelioma cases. Okay, each type can be further classified based on cell type. Okay, epithelioid. This is the most common cell type and generally most responsive to treatment. It typically has a better prognosis or a life expectancy compared to other cell types. All right, sarcomatoid. This one is less common and typically more aggressive with a poorer prognosis. And then lastly, aphasic, which is a combination of epithelioid and sarcomatoid cells, and the prognosis kind of depends on how much of each type of cell that you have. Now, what are the stages? So pleural and peritoneal mesothelioma use slightly different staging. In this video, I'm gonna just talk specifically about pleural mesothelioma, and then I'll just do another video about peritoneal mesothelioma staging soon. So here we go. There are 4 stages for pleural mesothelioma. The staging of mesothelioma is really important for determining the extent of disease and then the treatment options. So the most widely accepted system for staging malignant pleural mesothelioma is the TNM, tumor node metastasis staging system. So let's take a look at what these stages look like for pleural mesothelioma, the most common type of mesothelioma. Stage 1. Here the cancer is localized to one side of the chest lining. The lymph nodes are not involved. The tumor is small and it has not spread to other organs. Surgery to remove the tumor, chemotherapy, and radiotherapy, or maybe a combination, are common treatment options at this stage. All right, stage 2, the cancer has spread beyond the chest lining to nearby structures. It may involve the nearby lymph nodes on the same side of the chest. The cancer has not spread to distant parts of the body. Surgery, chemotherapy, and radiotherapy are also used here. All right, stage 3. In stage 3, the cancer has spread more extensively within the chest cavity. So it may involve lymph nodes on the opposite side of the chest or above the collarbone. But here it has not spread to distant organs. So for stage 3, treatment options are usually multimodal, meaning they're going to use a combination of treatments, and some experimental treatments may also be recommended. All right, stage 4. Stage 4 is the most advanced stage, and at this stage, the cancer has spread to distant parts of the body. It may involve the opposite lung, bones, liver, or other organs. At this stage, the lymph node involvement may be extensive. The treatments at stage 4 usually include chemotherapy, immunotherapy, and palliative care. In 2014, a study showed that surgery is not generally recommended here, unless it could significantly improve the quality of life. You might have noticed that I mentioned lymph nodes a lot. So you might be wondering, okay, but why? Why is lymph node involvement important? What are lymph nodes anyway? So according to the National Cancer Institute, lymph nodes are small bean-shaped structures that are part of the body's immune system. So lymph nodes filter substances that travel through the lymphatic fluid, and they contain lymphocytes, so white blood cells, that help the body fight infection and disease. So why is lymph node involvement such a big deal when it comes to mesothelioma? Imagine your lymph nodes as these tiny checkpoints throughout your body. They're constantly on the lookout for anything that shouldn't be there. When cancer cells start showing up at these checkpoints, it's a red flag. It is basically telling us, hey, this cancer isn't staying put, it's on the move. And this is really important information for doctors. It helps them figure out how far the cancer has spread and then what stage it's at. And let me tell you, that knowledge is power when it comes to planning treatment. So think of it like this. If the cancer is just hanging out in one spot, that's one thing. But if it started traveling through these lymph highways, it can mean a different ballgame. It might mean we need to change up our game plan for treatment. Plus, it gives us a clue about how the cancer might behave in the future. So if it's in the lymph nodes, there's a chance it could pop up somewhere else down the line. But don't get me wrong, finding cancer in the lymph nodes does not mean game over. It just means we may need to be a little smarter, a little more aggressive in how we tackle it. It's all about arming the doctors with as much info as possible so they can make the best call for each patient. So that's why we make such a big deal about lymph node involvement. It's like a crucial piece of the puzzle when we're trying to understand what is going on with someone's mesothelioma. It's pretty interesting, right? Okay, according to a study published in 2014 in the scientific journal Oncology Reports, patients with no lymph node involvement, NO, had a median survival of 22.4 months compared to 12.7 months for those with lymph node involvement. So that basically means that patients with no lymph node involvement lived almost twice as long. But Paul Kraus has advanced mesothelioma, and he managed to survive for over 27 years. At this time, his doctor said no conventional treatments would cure him. So Paul decided to find his own path to survival. So what did he do? Well, unfortunately, there's too much to cover in this video in detail, but you can see exactly what he did when you order a copy of his book, Surviving Mesothelioma. But I am going to give you just a brief outline in the meantime. Paul became the longest living mesothelioma survivor in the world by completely changing his lifestyle. He worked with doctors to change his diet to a cancer-fighting diet. He started juicing every morning. He changed his exercise routine. He started meditating and prayer. He did intravenous vitamin C, Chinese herbal medicine. He took supplements, and he used several other alternative therapies. I'm going to leave a link to the description for you to get a copy of his book, Surviving Mesothelioma, for free. That is all for me today. I really hope this has been helpful, and I wish you the best of health. I'll see you in the next video.